Hi, Angie. Welcome to the Mind Talk podcast. Tell us a little something about yourself.
Hi, Ruchi. Thank you for having me this morning.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Angie Chia, and I am actually 59 years old this year, turning 60. Uh,
Wow.
and I have 12 years in the slimming industry. I used to work with a slimming center. That's a very popular one.
Mm-hmm.
I also spent 10 years in the aesthetic arena. Yeah, so it's all about people, women especially, wanting to look good and doing something for themselves. Yeah, but for the last 3 years, I've been in the healthcare business.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've been coaching and helping people who are struggling with
Mm.
weight loss on its own, but fat loss and
Mm.
especially visceral fats.
Mm.
And when they have a chronic illness, is struggling with a high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or even at the uh, point of getting into diabetic.
Mm.
Yes. And we have helped them with their weight struggles and their transformations. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's not so much as just weight per se, not just the weight issue. It's
Mm.
mainly about self-image, a lot about insecurities, a lot about mental wellness,
Right.
right? That this is a chicken and egg thing whereby when you don't feel good and right, you tend to like overeat. You tend to have cravings that are not right. Yeah, so that's actually a very um, satisfying work that I've been doing. Uh,
Mm.
so I also believe that where I come from in Singapore, we are facing an aging population, and people tend to think that when you get old, you should get sick, you should get frail, or it's normal, you should get on medication. And at this point of time, I'm not on any medications. Yeah, and it all started with my husband having got to go on a high BP and high cholesterol medication. Did I realize that no, we need to do something about knowing the body and its signs?
So, what prompted you to work with women to help them, lose weight? Because you mentioned that your husband had medication for high BP, and you said, okay, no, this is not how I want to live my life. And then you obviously went from slimming to losing fats, visceral fats, and you said that it's important, to have that is important because of the high BP, diabetes as we are aging. So,
Mhm.
can you tell me more about what got you to work with women specifically?
Sure. So it started with my own experience.
Mm.
3 years ago, my body was going through premenopausal and menopausal symptoms. And I wasn't quite aware of it, except that everyone is saying, well, you will get there and it is normal. And when I get on the MRT, I'll get people giving up seats for me. I'm like,
Mm.
what? Why? Because there's always this belly fat that I couldn't shed. And even though I try to eat very carefully, I think I
Mm.
was a eater, meaning I don't indulge in unhealthy food. That's why I wasn't on any of the chronic illnesses medication.
Mm.
Yeah, so I kept myself well, but it didn't help me to lose any excess
Mm.
and made me feel more bloated as the day went by. Yeah, and I realized that I struggle with my hormone changes. My menses were like went on and on. It used to be very accurate and ended in 5 days, and then it became a month.
Mm.
Yeah, non-stop, and then I just have to wear a pad the whole time. So
Oh.
when I went for some scans to the hospital and make sure that everything was all right in me, I realized there was a fibroid that's 10 cm wide diameter, and it probably was there for a while. And to cut the whole story short, I see a gynae, I saw a specialist, I went for uh, uh, a keyhole surgery. I got everything done. The tummy went smaller, but the weight continued to escalate. I continued to feel bloated. I continued to feel
Mm.
symptoms of menopausal, which that was real. There's no more, nothing to do with the fibroid anymore. It's a whole system that's crying for help. So when I chanced upon this program, that I went on the program because my boss was on the program. And then he actually said that you should try this because it is really helping the body to get rid of unnecessary fats. It's not just about looking good on the outside, but the revamp of the whole system with the correct signs. And you actually, when the fat goes down, you actually uh, get rid of all the chronic symptoms. The gut health improves, and gut is known as the second brain, and
Mm.
even the depressive thinking, the thoughts that we have, that sometimes we think that we're just getting sick, yeah, all disappeared. So when I saw myself getting on the program and losing, I lost 12 kg.
Mm.
Out of 12 kg, 9.6 kg were just fats, and visceral fats went down from 9 when I started to 5.5. So that was a very good change and transformation of my own body,
Mm.
whereby I started to think that, well, people need to have a different thinking about health. It's not about getting old. And then that's where my husband went on the medication bandwagon. And I said, no, this is not going to be that. We need to really think about the human body in the correct science.
Mm.
Yes. So I got myself in this. And to date, I've seen work with women 40 and above to 50s. And they have managed to shed their health, their weight and transform into better health.
Mm.
And I feel that there's more younger people are getting this. The 35, the 30 something are starting because of their lifestyle, the stress they get from their work, the way they eat. So they are starting, without knowing, and a lot more chronic diseases are coming on. Yes. So I got myself to this, and I'm really, I feel that it's really working out for many who have gone on the program.
But when I hear you talk, sorry, but you make it sound like so complicated because to me, weight loss is simple, right? Calories in, calories out. So I'm not sure. I'm a bit confused here. Can you explain that to me?
Okay, exactly. It actually sounds like people always think that when you eat less, you exercise more
Mm.
and not put on weight, right? So the people that cut down on what they eat but exercise like hell, but they still do not lose weight. So
Mm.
here is the science of the body. It doesn't mean that, of course, whatever we eat in, we would expand it and generate energy. But most of the time, we don't eat the correct food. We may eat enough, we may eat less, but our body is short of nutrition, lacking nutrition. So the body will come into a survival mode whereby it will lock your fats to make sure you're well. And
Mm.
the body is intelligent enough to know that you're on a diet. So once they
Oh.
think that you're on a diet, they will start keeping all the fats to make sure that you have enough fats to convert to energy. Even
Mm.
when you're sleeping, you need the fats. Yeah, so we need some form of fats, but we need healthy fats and not fats from McDonald's, from Kentucky Fried Chicken, and even the carbs that we eat. It's not just we're not just going to have like bread, white bread, noodles, uh, what do you call that? White rice. The Asians will like the white rice. So we need to come to the right meal planning. That means you have to eat, not stuff yourself, but eat the right food at the right time, with the right portions. You need to also have enough water, enough rest. So it's a whole lot of factors coming together to make this weight loss. I wouldn't like to call it weight loss. It's actually fat loss, because weight loss can mean that you are only eating enough to burn muscles, to burn your proteins, to just get rid of water retention. And the moment you stop that special diet, so called, you put it back on again.
So you're not promoting like a diet, like restrictive calorie counting and all that. You're promoting more like holistic healing. Is that what you're trying to say? Like eat well, eat properly, but eat the right kind of food.
Yes, eat the right kind of food, eat the right portion. But I wouldn't say that you have to stick to a specific menu all the time, because that's
Mm.
not realistic. So it becomes like a meal replacement, right? You have to keep taking that same thing. So basically, it's to understand your own body, and all of us are different. Everyone's body is different, and the only thing that's the same is we have a Krebs cycle. It's called the Krebs cycle, that will help us to burn the fats and convert it into energy
Mm.
with the liver, because the liver would actually let out enzymes and coenzymes. So you'll be able to help the body to generate energy. So we want to do a calorie deficit enough for the liver to burn the fats. But this calorie deficit that came from wholesome real food has to be enough so that the body does not even think you're going on the diet.
Oh. So
Yeah, so
how does the body store fat?
okay, the body stores fat by when you're like not eating enough, or when you are under stress, or you're not resting enough, the body does go into a defensive mode, like we call the survival mode. It will start to store fat, and it will secrete stress hormones like cortisol. Yeah,
Mm.
so when cortisol is being secreted, it affects your appetite. It actually gives you cravings, the wrong cravings. You think you need that food, but actually it's not beneficial for you. It's just the body asking for more.
Mm.
And it's a chicken and egg thing. If you grab the wrong craving, the wrong kind of food, and you satisfy yourself, you spike the sugar, the blood sugar. The blood sugar will spike, and very quickly it will come down because it is not the right food that the body should consume. And you would wonder, like you might take something like a very a fried stuff or an oily plate of char kway teow, and then at dinner time you say, "Hey, I feel so bloated because it's not healthy, right? I'll skip dinner." Yeah, and then you thought you're just right, but 2 hours time you start telling somebody, "Hey, I think I feel hunger pangs. I think because I haven't had dinner, but
Mm.
because it has dipped and the body is asking for food." So you go through these cycles of spiking. So the insulin is very disrupted. So that's how, in long term, it will lead to diabetic problems.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is it different for men? I think sometimes like men will just think they want to lose weight and boom, one sneeze, a run, no beer, no rice for 2 days, and they've got these six. It almost seems like that.
Yes. Men actually had it easier than women because men do not struggle with the hormones. They do
Mm.
not their menses, their monthly menstruation. They are very straightforward, and they have more muscles than us. So the moment they cut down on their food, you can see that they do lose weight. But again, they also need the signs of eating correctly, the right portion, the right choice of food. Because if they were to do it like just depriving yourself and cutting down on calories, they would also lose muscles.
Mm.
Yeah, and muscles and proteins, they are all very important for our organs. Right. So they go through the same, except that if you put a woman and a man on the same plan, the men
Mm.
always lose faster in the month as compared to the women.
Ah, that's frustrating.
Yes.
You
So,
you mentioned that, sometimes we'll go out and we'll have a heavy meal for lunch and then we'll come and we'll skip a dinner. So what are the side effects of skipping meals? Like is I know one you said is the drop in the sugar, but is there any other side effects?
okay, you would actually slow down your metabolism,
Oh,
your
really?
because when you skip, the body will realize that there's scarcity in the body, especially if you go on the yo-yo diet. Like some days you go on a big buffet and you eat a lot because you feel like eating a lot. And the next day you say, oh no, I had a bad day and I really should cut down today and be good. And then you go very low and you start taking like soup, salads. And the body is a very intelligent system that when you do that, it says, this person is not up to any good, right? We should try and conserve energy and keep this fats so that she doesn't go have havoc with the
Hmm.
raw yo-yo diet, and then the body will start to the metabolic rate will slow down. Yeah, so that's one of the thing, and they will store fat to protect you because anytime when you go into scarcity again, the body will need the fat that you have they have stored for you.
Mm.
Yes, and also if you keep going on meal skipping, you will lose muscle mass. Yes, because muscle mass is important. The muscle mass, we need to use it for energy. And less muscle, when one has less muscle, you will have lower metabolic rate. Your metabolism is lower. It ties together.
Okay.
Yes. And besides the blood sugars fluctuations, you will get irritable, you get fatigue, you get moody. These are the things that we do not know, we do not realize that it is caused by uh, the metabolic rate syndrome.
Mm.
Always think that, oh, she's just waking up from the wrong side of the bed. But actually, the whole system is screaming for help. And basically, you have poor concentration. So when that happens, you tend to eat. So it's a chicken and egg thing again. It's, oh,
Yeah.
I'm more a good meal. Oh, I want to be happy. Maybe I should try ice cream. I should eat chocolate. So again, right, you go through that whole cycle of bad eating. So that's skipping a meal, which is bad. And another thing is when you skip meals, you disrupt your hormones, especially so for women.
Mm.
Yes, because with our estrogen, with our progesterone, yeah, and many times when you are not careful and you go on this yo-yo diet, you affect your thyroid. So a
Mm.
lot of thyroid problem. because the hormones are all messed up.
Mm.
Yes. So it also means there are more brain fogs, you have more abdominal fats because the fats are always accumulated at the organ, the area where the organs are. So that's why you get liver fat, visceral fat. And a person that's skinny fat, like they exercise, they don't eat well. People who are very sporty, they might think they already exercise, they owe it to themselves to eat anything they want. Oh, I exercise, so I can just have a bad meal or bad meals, I'm going to eat the gym again. Yeah, but actually that's not, because what's accumulated in the liver, it becomes liver fat. And it's skinny fat from the outside, but when they stand on the scale to weigh their fat rate, actually the fat rate is very high. That's how you, unknowingly, there's some marathon runners
Mm.
that had the arteries choked without knowing. And someday the heart would just stop, and you get accidents like people running on a marathon and then fall flat and then they just get a heart attack.
Okay.
So it's an fat that we're not aware of.
Mm.
Yeah.
So your work is mostly with helping women get the right nutrition, balanced nutrition, or do you also work with giving them a certain kind of workout or something like that?
I don't give them a workout because um, there's this little myth about if you exercise and you can burn fats through exercising. Actually, the muscles, a lot of people are turning their fats to muscles. So they become very bulky, they become very solid, they're not flabby.
Mm.
But the actual thing that we want to look at is the fat rate in the body should drop. So in this, what I'm taking people through is we do not exercise when you're on this program. In fact, we advise people to take it slow. No need to worry about exercising, but lose what you need to lose, then you
Mm.
can building muscles by maintaining. You can go to the gym, you can still do other forms of sports, Pilates, or even if you want to do brisk walking. Yeah, but because the liver is the main organ in our body that is responsible for fat burning, that's responsible for detoxification of the system. And when you try to lose weight, actually your liver is very tired,
Mm.
overworking, and so you realize that when you cut down on your food, when you deliberately go on a diet, you always feel very tired, very fatigued, very listless. It's because you are overworking your liver. So when you're doing something like trying to break down the fats in the body, we do
Mm.
not suggest you exercise because the liver cannot multitask. The liver can only do one thing at a time, and the main priority of the liver is to detoxify our body. So it's like the drainage system,
You're right.
the detoxification. So the everyday detoxification is important. That's why we need to rest early, because the liver's functions is optimal from 11 p.m. to about 2 a.m. So if you sleep beyond 2 a.m. and then you sleep through the next day, the whole afternoon, it's not going to be useful, because the liver is almost like resting when
Mm.
you're. So you have to let the liver do its job by detoxifying. And when you're on medication, so when you're on the program for weight loss and you say, oh, I'm taking Panadol, I have a migraine, I had caught a flu, I take cough mixture, I have a sore throat. We'll say, okay, so go get well, rest well, don't go on any diet plans, don't do
Mm.
anything, just eat normally, drink more water, rest. Because when you're on medication, the second thing that the liver will do is to detoxify the toxins of medication out of your system.
Okay.
Yeah, so then when you do this program, you're wasting your effort, because you'll
Mm.
be tired, you'll be sick, you're not well, and you are having to try to eat well, right? You should be happy, let go, just eat whatever is comfortable. Even if you have a little craving, just go ahead. When you're well, let's get on it again. Yeah,
Okay.
so there's no point. And so exercise is the last priority, because when you go to the gym or when you do when you jog, when we tear down our muscles, actually the healing has to take place in the body. You tear down the muscle to build the muscles, right?
Right, right.
So the liver will be very busy trying to do that. If you're on a good diet plan, you're on medication, you're not well, uh, and then you exercise. So totally, fat burning is the last priority. It's always
Mm.
the body, because that's the main work of the liver. And you need to detox the medication, anything that's foreign in our body. Then comes the fat burning. The fat burning is always not on the top list.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This entire podcast was about helping women to understand the science of weight loss, but also bring about a balance in their nutrition. And if there is one word as advice for our listeners, what would it be?
One word. Um,
I
I
put
think
you on the spot there.
I think the one word that we have is to one word is hard to give. Um, Probably I would say that as I would say use the word love.
Love.
Yes,
I like that. Yeah.
you love yourself, so
Mm.
and make sure that you're well, and then you can love the others. See, women is why women is always struggling more than men is because we love everyone else and very little love for ourselves at the end of the day. And we would cook for everyone. We make sure our kids have enough breakfast. We
Mm.
make sure the supermarketing is done. But at the end of the day, we don't really sit down and eat properly and enjoy the food that we fix for them. I guess all the stress would, at the end of the day, all the stress made us feel that, oh, I don't want to eat anymore. I just want to rest. I
Mm.
just and then I just want to dream, right? So we love ourselves. So when we love ourselves, we want to find out what's the problem with our body,
Mm.
fix that, and improve that relationship between food and our body. We are trying to improve all relationships around us. And then
Yeah.
we crazy woman that is overstressed, high cortisol, overweight, angry, depressed, because everything else fall apart inside us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we should take care of ourselves first.
Thank you so much for giving me your time and talking to our listeners. Thank you.
Welcome.